So I never thought that Dionne Warwick was a strong singer. Not at all. Gladys Knight, yes. Not as strong and hearty as Patti LaBelle, but she definitely can hold her own. She is a dynamic singer. That damn Dionne Warwick, I don't know. It was during this period that I gave what many people thought was the performance of my career. I was one of the more than 60 performances on the NBC TV special Motown Returns to the Apollo. The show, which was taped live on May 4th, 1985, before a black tie audience, was celebrating the reopening of the newly renovated theater. The stars were out in force that night. The lineup included some of the biggest and the best. Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, Sammy Davis Jr., Gregory Hines, The Four Tops, Little Richard, Wilson Pickett, Sarah Vaughan, Mavis Staples, Rod Stewart, Boy George, Joe Cocker, George Michael, Billy Eckstine, Billy Preston, and Diana Ross. With that kind of talent in the house, you can see why I was so surprised, stunned really, that I received so many of the standing ovations the audience gave that night. The moment that everyone was buzzing about after the taping was the finale that got everybody talking. There were some people who said I stole the show from Diana Ross. Literally, intentionally. Backed by the New Jersey Mass Choir, Diana had just finished singing the first verse of Foreigner's hit, I Want to Know What Love Is, when she started inviting others to sing with her. Somebody help me, she said. She didn't have to ask me twice. I helped her. When I sang the first line, the audience went wild and gave me a roaring standing ovation. I didn't notice it, but the press reports later said Diana looked as if I had slapped her. Ross looked as though she'd have given anything to take the moment and that microphone back, wrote the Philadelphia Inquirer. It hurt me deeply when I heard people thought that I was trying to steal Diana's thunder. Nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is, it had been such an emotional night for me that had been building to that stirring curtain call. I was being propelled by the magical musical moment. 2 months later, after I performed in Philadelphia at the Live Aid extravaganza, I had the same criticism about my performance. This time, people even went so far as to say that during the finale, We Are the World, I had the only live mic on the stage. Not so. If I was louder than everyone else, I was just being Patti. I was singing my heart out. Like the song I sang to Mrs. King on the Motown special, this was another inspired song at the end of another emotional night. Those experiences have left me wary of doing group finales. For a while, I even asked Armstead to make sure I didn't have to perform in them. Some people have tried to prevent my no-holds-barred performances before they're even scheduled. For instance, the same year I did Live Aid, I was invited to perform in Washington, D.C. at the Kraft All-Star Salute to Ford's Theater. It was suggested, however, that I tone down everything, my hair, my costumes, even my voice. At first I was hurt, but then I got mad. I said, why? Why should I give less? If I can't come as me, then I shouldn't be invited. If I'm too outrageous for the pinstripe Power Town crowd, just tell me and I'll stay home. I accept people the way they are. Me too, girl. But that don't stop people from hating me. And I think everyone else should do the same. I sang 3 songs at Ford's Theater, and I'm happy to say the audience didn't think I was too much at all. I can't swear to it, but I think I even saw President Ronald Reagan tapping his foot. It was one thing for strangers to ask me to change myself, but when the request came from a sister friend, it was a real blow. When it happened in April of 1986, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was taping the HBO special that won a Cable Ace Award, Sisters in the Name of Love, at the Aquarius Theater in Hollywood. I was thrilled to be starring in the show with 2 women I had played the Chitlin circuit with and loved dearly, Gladys Knight and Dionne Warwick. After the first time we ran through the show, Dionne called me into a side room. "Patti," she said, "we're going to do it one more time. Do you think you can tone it down some this time around?" You could have knocked me over with a feather. Here I was singing my heart out to make this show a smashing success. It was not only because I was singing with 2 sisters in the name of love, but because this was Gladys' debut as an executive producer. As hurtful as it was to listen to Dionne's request, I didn't feel that I had any choice. Dionne was a friend, and I was crushed. I said no problem. And then I accused myself and went into an empty room and cried like a baby. Later, it happened again when Dionne and I were together rehearsing a song from another special. This time, Dionne didn't call me aside for a private conversation. Many of the band members looked as shocked as I was when she told me the way I was singing was interfering with her part. So I never thought that Dionne Warwick was a strong singer. Not at all. Gladys Knight, yes. Not as strong and hearty as Patti LaBelle, but she definitely can hold her own. She is a dynamic singer. That damn Dionne Warwick, I don't know. She need to keep to the Burt Bacharach songs. You know, them lighty, fluffy, flurry, flitty songs. I say a little prayer for you. She's like, I would put her in the same group, and you niggas may hate me, but right now I don't care. You want to put her in the same group as a Janet Jackson or Aaliyah. Both of them can maintain their tone, but they are not strong, dynamic singers. We know that Gladys Knight is, and we know that Patti LaBelle is, okay? But Dionne Warwick was basically intimidated by Patti LaBelle's singing. Wait a minute, girl, you doing that? And it's making my voice look small. I need you to lessen your big voice so that my voice won't look as small. But she ain't gonna say that. She's just gonna say, girl, tone it down. No, bitch. Why should I have to tone my shit down? You my friend, girl, but you know, friend girl, how I gets down. Don't keep inviting me to this bullshit and y'all tell me I can't be me. Girl, as hurtful as it was to listen to Dionne's request, I didn't feel that I had any choice. Dionne was a friend and I was crushed. I said no problem. And then I excused myself and went into an empty room and cried like a baby. Later, it happened again when Dionne and I were together rehearsing a song for another special. This time, Dionne didn't call me aside for a private conversation. Many of the band members looked as shocked as I was when she told me the way I was singing was interfering with her part. Why did Dionne want to go there for the second time? And this time in front of people. This time Patti didn't run into a room and cry. This time Priscilla would run interference. I've had it. I screamed, don't tell me another time what I can and cannot sing. I'm only trying to do my best. And if my best is too much for you, that is not my problem. Word, that's your problem. Go on the back, get your old voice teacher, and ask them to teach you how to sing outside of that flitty titty shit that you be singing with Burt Bacharach. It felt good that I had spoken up for myself, but I felt bad that Dionne and I had argued in front of other people. We've put the whole incident behind us, and as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't affected our friendship. In fact, not only did the three of us get together to record the single Superwoman for Gladys's Good Woman album, we even went on Oprah together to perform it. That song snagged Grammy nominations for all three of us. There was one television production on which I didn't have to worry about anybody closing the curtain on me or asking me to be anything other than who I am. Although I would earn an Emmy nomination for my performance on the Motown special, that wasn't the biggest surprise to come my way as a result of that show. 2 days after the taping, Hollywood producer Marty Krofft was in Philly, taking Armstead and me out for lobster dinners at bookbinders and offering me my own primetime television special. NBC Top Gun Brandon Toktokoff had seen my performance that night, and he quickly gave me the project and gave the project the green light. I couldn't wait to get started. I wanted this show to be truly special, and so I went all out. I asked 4 fabulous artists to guest star, and to my delight, they all said yes. Bill Cosby, Luther Vandross, Amy Grant, and Cyndi Lauper. We started taping on a Tuesday, and even though we shot for 10 to 12 hours a day, we didn't finish until close to midnight on Friday. By that time, I was so emotional, I just stood in my dressing room and cried. In between tears, I was asking everyone how the last night of taping had gone, if I had done okay. Armstead just walked up to me, wiped the tears from my face, and handed me a beautiful velvet box. Inside was the most gorgeous antique diamond necklace I have ever seen. I think, he said quietly, you're awesome. The show aired on Thanksgiving Day, 1985, just days after I had appeared on Sylvia Fine Kari's musical for PBS TV, a performance that would earn me my second Emmy nomination. When the reviews came in for my Thanksgiving Day special, the critics were particularly kind. The Patti LaBelle Show is the most exciting television pop music event since Motown 25. Yesterday, today, forever. The show that exposed the mass audience to Michael Jackson's moonwalk. In the years after Barbara died, when I started working like a mad woman, I was doing it to hold myself together. But all that effort and energy had an unexpected benefit. By the end of 1985, it had taken my career to a whole different level. Later in 1984, when I started recording Winter in You, my first album for MCA Records, I had no idea how successful it would become. Not only would the album go platinum, it would also earn me 2 more Grammy nominations, one for the Best R&B Vocal Performance, Female, and one for the #1 Pop and R&B single. On my own, once again, now, one more time, by myself,
taking a ride on the east side, made a left on MLK. What a beautiful day, what a beautiful day. Riding high on the west side, looking for a hood rat to play. Won't you come out and play, won't you come out and play? Hey, taking a ride, hey, hey, on the south side, ooh, ooh, MLK, hey, hey, hey.